And back at it. Hello,
Yes.
TNT Connection.
Yes.
From our perspective.
Perspective.
How's everybody doing? Glad to be back at you once again. And we're going to jump right back into this pot of love soup we was in.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
just so
yes.
we can keep it fresh and keep it piping hot.
Keep it going. I was just wondering, baby, if you could go back to that foundation. When you was talking about that foundation, that was pretty good. It was getting...
Well, the foundation that we was talking about, that I was in reference to, is if we're not trying to keep it modern. Because, see, modern times has a way of building something that has a persona or something. They want to make everything look like something without giving people the meat of the matter of how it got to be what it is.
So like the process.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about the process because in the process, you know, it's almost like people don't eat hot dogs once they learn how they made. Hello. Once you get to the process, once you get to that foundation, and you move all of this fictional stuff, this fake stuff, all of this, that, and the third stuff out the way. Listen, and then you begin to build upon that foundation, even relationship-wise, right? But even in dating, you still go into a dating experience knowing that if you find someone appealing or attractive, that you're going to begin to build upon that.
Yes.
So my wife was saying that foundation. A man is going to treat a woman like she let him. And that's why I refer back to this. He can either wine you or dine you, or he can nickel and dime you. What do you mean, nickel and dime? In other words, listen here, let me tell you something. To a man, ladies, to a man,
Okay.
$100, $150, $200 on a date. To a man that's working, a man that's about his business, it ain't a lot of money.
Okay. So they're making that kind of money? Did you say $200?
That's not a lot of money. $150, $200 on a date is not a lot of money to a man.
On a date. Okay. So taking someone out on a date and spending $200
$.
Or so.
Ain't a lot.
Or more. Okay.
But if he can take you to...
If he likes you, I think.
Yeah, if he likes you. But if he can take you to...
Interested in you.
And if he's interested.
Okay.
That's not a lot of money to him.
I agree.
And he can also take you to Red Robin.
I mean, yeah.
He can spend
go.
$50. But listen what I'm getting at.
Uh-huh.
But to some women, $200 gives him access to everything on the table. You know? And what are you saying, bro? I'm saying, in other words, the man, he can be like this. Listen, now I can take you out for that steak and lobster. But he'd be like, you know what come with that steak and lobster, right? Huh? Get what I'm saying? Or he can take you to Red Robin's and spend $50. And you'd be like, you know what come with that $50 Red Robin, right? See what I'm saying, lady? But if you allow him to nickel and dime you, that's how he gonna play. You get what I mean? In other words, don't let a man buy your affections by spending. Because to him, it's not much. If he gonna ultimately get what he want, he gonna spend as less as he can. Even if he costs him to spend $200. To some women, that might be like, well, he did spend $200.
Well, why we have to put a value on it? I mean, it could be whatever. If this guy is interested in this lady, then he can spend whatever. I mean, why do we have to put a price tag on it? Why can't it just be, this was a nice date?
This is what I'm saying.
Because I enjoy spending time with, meeting you and getting to know you, and then vice versa. I mean, why do it have to be money?
What he's going to get at the end of that date. This is what I meant by that foundation.
Okay.
Get what I'm saying? This is what I meant by that foundation.
Okay.
If you lay a foundation of morals and standards, it ain't going to be what you're going to get on how much you spend. You get what I'm saying? If you present yourself a lady, they will respect you as one. But if you put a price on you, a man don't mind paying it.
So that goes back to...
Woo!
It goes back to...
Woo! That's another one.
We as women, speaking from the women's point of view.
Come on.
We help guide and teach the guy how to entreat us.
Come on now.
Right?
Come on.
Okay. So if I have standards within.
Come on.
And.
Lady, come on.
Yep. And I don't have to compromise myself.
Come on, no matter what he's spending.
Right, no matter, yeah. Okay. I just know you was talking about money, so
reason being, if a woman's sitting across from the table and he'd be like, well, I'm gonna order the steak and the lobster, and he'd be like, you know what comes with that steak and the lobster, and you'd be like, hopefully a ride home.
Should be in.
Exactly. Hopefully a ride home, but if not, I can pay for my own steak and lobster, and we can cut this right here.
Or we can just know that the date is going to end by saying, you know what? We're going to go together on this bill.
Exactly. We go in touch. But this is what I'm saying. Whereas
because it doesn't have
some
to be
people be like, listen, some people like, okay. They be patting their head like, I know what come with it. That's all right. Y'all know. Y'all know they out there. But women, when they turn and come and pat their hair.
Oh.
Okay. In other words, they down with it. But if your foundation, listen to what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We know what's happening. We know what's out there.
Yeah.
And if a woman is down for it, listen, if a man can get it all, what else is there left? What do you mean, bro? If he can get it all for little or nothing, what's left?
Yeah.
A man is going to try to get all he can for little or nothing.
Yeah.
But if he find out that woman is more than that, wait a minute. I need to investigate a little further.
Yeah.
And then he gonna come with something else.
Yeah. And you know what? It just takes.
And this is all men, not just doctors, lawyers, professors, politicians, policemen, everybody.
Yeah.
They all are gonna be willing to go and see if they can get all for little or nothing. Everybody likes a deal. Men like deal.
Yeah. But women. We already know that we don't sell out at discounted prices. The only thing that we get discounted, and that's only if the value of, how we go bargain hunting and, shopping.
Who do?
But,
where you go bargain hunting?
I do. I do bargain hunting. I mean, hey, if you find a dress that was $200,
she don't go to Burlington because she don't like looking through the racks.
I can't do that. But if I'm going to Dillard's and they have a $200 dress, and I'm getting it for $50, that's a deal, right? That's a deal.
Me in the same way. If we shopping through the list and we find a woman and she's been marked down, boy.
I just remember my husband did a motivational speech about selling out at
discount prices.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy.
And that was pretty good.
That was pretty something else. But that's how men.
So we can't sell out at discount.
Don't sell out, ladies. Listen. Regardless of what it looks like.
Teach the guys how to treat you.
And let me tell you something. From a guy's perspective and from the men that I have talked with, they look for that in a lady.
Yeah. And remember, this is from our
perspective. Period. As my granddaughter would say.
Oh, yes. And going back to the foundation.
Yes,
so
it's that
foundation.
And you make that man pursue that much harder because, listen, a man want to take somebody around his people, around his mother, his grandmother, his cousins, even his friends, somebody that he can respect. Mm-hmm. Get what I'm saying? He want to take somebody around his people that's going to give a good image of him. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He don't want to bring somebody around his people that look like, one of his cousins can pull. Woo! Hello, somebody.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That's a whole different episode of women and men as well. I guess everybody is like, R. Kelly got a song out. He said, I'm a flirt. He said, don't bring your girl to the club. I'm a flirt. That's what R. Kelly was saying.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was some other people in the song. I know y'all ain't really feeling R. Kelly. But it was the premise of it was.
Not even the words.
If you don't trust your girlfriend, don't bring her out to dinner with him. Because he gonna flirt. And sometimes men and women is hooking up with the wrong people. You can't even bring around your friend. Why would you go and date
with that type of man? I'm saying. I wouldn't even date him. I wouldn't even.
This is what I'm saying.
If you wouldn't even have my time and I wouldn't give him the time of the day. Why would you do that?
Exactly. That's
and that means trust, because relationship.
Come on now.
All that in there.
Come on, talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That's part of it. It's trust, and I got to be able to trust you. I want to be able, if I bring my friends around my husband, I want to be able to trust that everything gonna be okay on that end.
Come on.
So building that relationship, and in that relationship, part of the ingredients.
And you said
trusting.
husband. What about a dude that you date?
Well, one that you dating as well.
As well.
That you in
Whoa, for real?
Well, that
Dating?
you are in a relationship with.
And that's
that
one of
you
the tests, I guess. The test. If you can bring him around your girlfriends and he can still maintain his integrity.
Exactly. Remember that show that we seen that they were showing on TV about they were bringing their girl around the guy that had
the house,
rich.
The mansion,
yes.
yeah.
And they just tried him out to see if they guy would cheat on them, because they have been going out with this person, and they just want to kind of see if their relationship was solid. And so what they did, I mean, I don't agree with this at all.
And that's
they had,
could be clickbait. That could be staged.
Yeah.
It could be.
And then bring it.
But it's still the same premise. It's still the same.
And how they were swooned with the fame of what that person had. He had money, he had a nice house, he had a nice car, and he was just really kind of wooing her with all of his material things.
And some of the women fell for it.
Yeah, they fell for it. And
some didn't.
And guys did too. And some guys fell for it, while their significant other was watching them on
just watching. And it was that's why I said I don't know if it was real. It sounds staged, because who puts a person in that predicament and they'll sit in it? That's just us analyzing a show we've seen on TV.
Yeah.
But we talking about in real life.
You was talking about that foundation, so that's still all in that.
It's
the foundation, because like we said, in the foundation, you want to put all good ingredients there, so when you go to build up on it, it won't fall. It's gonna stand.
And one of them being trust.
You didn't already, one of them being trust, and then the other one being
honesty, integrity.
Honesty, yes. Protection. You know what we look for. Yeah, definitely faithfulness.
When you get all of these things, you have to present yourself that. You have to let you individually have to have that foundation already laid. That's just how you are. You get what I'm saying?
And the men have to be too.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, the men and the women. But she has to have
take advantage of the men as well.
Exactly.
So they have to also help teach that opposite person how to entreat you.
Yes.
And how you want to be treated. So it's up to me to teach you, or up to that individual or the opposite to, show me how you want to be treated. Okay.
And it works.
It does.
Once those two come together, we're talking about dating. And then you move that dating from dating into a relationship. What defines a relationship? A relationship is defined by you guys coming into an agreement.
Yeah.
When you were me and my wife was dating and courting. It came a time that I had to.
Old one, courting.
I had to ask her, would she be my girl? Huh? I had to ask her, because we were just dating. We were just hanging out. And going back to what my wife was saying about friendship. Like I said, I didn't want to be put into the friend zone. But my wife was talking about, in that dating process, you do become a friendship. But
relationship.
Friendship, relationship.
Yeah.
But you both know that it ain't, we may became friends.
Yeah.
But when I looked in your eyes and you looked in mine, we knew, you know how you looked at me.
No, how did I look?
She know how she was looking at me. I'm not trying to, put her business out there. But you know what I mean?
You know what?
We came into the agreement with each other to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were friends, because we used to hang out. We used to date. We used to go to this Chinese restaurant, was one of our favorite spots in Cleveland.
It really was. Yeah.
And we would go and get Chinese food. That's when Chinese food was different.
Yeah. Egg
rolls. You know?
Yep, and a little tea. Oh, it was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
We used to hang out all the time. We used to go get Polish boys and chicken wings. And,
Yeah.
But it was just things that young folks did. And in doing that, we became friends.
Mm-hmm.
But our friendship grew into a relationship.
It sure did.
What I was saying, if you friend zone somebody and they've been your friend and you've been dating other people, don't mess up your friendship.
Yeah.
By trying to take it to the next level with a friend. You might ruin that friendship. Y'all may not have never meant to be in a relationship. You may have just meant to be friends. I'm talking about friends in a friend zone.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, my wife can't have no male friends. You get what I'm saying on that note?
I want to kind of touch base on that.
Can I have girlfriends?
Not girlfriends.
No, girl.
But you can have a female friend that I can trust.
Man, that's good. That's good. Cause
that I can trust. That I know. And then the thing is,
who?
you be willing to bring
that's
her
good,
around me.
That's
yeah.
good. Who?
Yeah.
Who? Who was this magical woman that's all the... Listen, first of all, we've been married for 40 years. So when am I going to meet a friend? That's like all of a sudden I got a friend.
Well, it's almost like John. Remember John? From the church, John.
Okay.
Al and all them. Those was our friends.
Oh, no.
Those was our friends.
Nah, yeah, but we talking about...
it wasn't like no dating and none of that. It was just that...
Oh, yeah, those kind of friends. But those is like...
Those are friends, like, so I can have... That's a male friend.
No, I'm talking about... I come home and you and your male friend is on the couch talking.
Well, I mean, that's not ethical to have a male over to your home and your husband is not home.
Right, that's true.
I mean,
That's true. I guess I kid, but I see what you were saying.
The lines and what.
But let me say this. Let me just put this
boundaries.
out here. Let me just put this out there.
Of course, you don't do that.
At this juncture in the game, ain't no new friends coming.
And why would he want to come over to the house if you're not here? That doesn't make sense. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but listen to what I'm saying. Okay. At this juncture of the game, ain't no new friends showing up.
What does that mean? Ain't no new friends.
I just said new friends. Ain't no new friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Can I just come up with a new friend?
Oh, you said just a new friend. Oh, okay, just all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
Oh, okay. No, we talking about somebody from childhood or from long time ago before I knew.
Listen, you guys in these relationships, if you're trying to build on a relationship, let's just, baby, we got to keep it. Because if they keep going, keep going around in circles.
Yeah, well, for the record, can I just say it's okay to have a male friend if it's from somebody from way back.
Somebody you grew up with?
Yeah.
Okay, but now you're in a relationship.
I guess. But your friend.
But I'm trying to figure out how much of a friend what kind of friend? You get what I'm a little old school.
Yeah.
Because back, friends are few and far between.
That's what I'm
when
saying.
you talk about friends.
I mean,
Oh, okay. So I guess we got old friends that me and you know.
Yes.
In Cleveland.
Yes.
I guess they could be considered a friend.
Yeah.
And they're few and far between. But now in the game, ain't no new friends. Ain't got no space for no new friends.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna just all of a sudden say, babe, here I gotta do you're not gonna all of a sudden say, babe, here, come and meet my friend. I just met her. No, there's gonna be some questions. No, we're not.
Yeah, just like you called a friend. I mean, we better take it back where you found him because it ain't happening. But we're going back to that friendship, going back to dating.
Yeah.
Now we're into the relationship. We're trying to progress. Now we're into relationship. Okay, TNT, how do I begin to build upon this relationship? Okay, now you're talking. Now you're talking. And reason we put the friends and things of that nature in. When you go into a relationship, you begin to cut dead weight.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. In the dating, after you guys date and you want to move it to another level, to relationship. Then what happens is that male or that female start cutting off the other potentials.
Yes.
Put it like that. Start cutting off the other potentials by saying, right now, me and my friend is starting getting a little serious.
Listen.
So then we start breaking it off.
Webster defined a relationship as this.
What?
When you cut the possibility of other suitors. When you're in a relationship, you cut everybody else loose. There's no more opening.
Okay.
So dating, like we said before, no, we didn't say, y'all didn't get it. We were saying, while I'm dating, can I date other people? Dating. We just dating.
Well, if it's dating and this is just a potential person, I think you can date until it's up to you.
You dating.
You connect. You trying to make a connection.
Right. You just dating. You just dating.
We're not talking like a pop the balloon kind of thing. We're trying to make a connection.
Don't give her no plug. They ain't plugging us. Y'all can plug us if you want. TNT connection.
But it's just like, you're looking for a connection.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you should until that person said, okay, I'm ready to take it to the next level.
Hello.
Then we can talk about where are we going with this. To see if that's what we want to do is cut everything off.
I done moved into a relationship now. We were dating. You may have dated. You and him may have dated.
You come into agreement that we're going to move farther. We're going to go to the next level.
That wants to take this to the next level.
Yeah.
Then all of my attention is focused towards that person.
Yeah.
And I know everybody like, we hear what you're saying. We're moving. And a lot of times people, and the problem is, a lot of people want to play. Mm-hmm. And it's sad to say. A lot of people want to play. They want to keep. Okay, the one statement the man made. I said, well, how long would you date somebody?
Okay.
Before you take it to that next level?
Oh, that was good.
And he said, I'll date them for up to 6 weeks. Truly,
6 weeks.
Not sexual, just dating.
6 weeks.
He said he'd go 6 weeks without trying to push that sex into the option.
With this individual that he likes.
Right.
Okay.
That's what he's willing to do.
Okay.
I said, oh yeah? He said, but I'll have other people on the side for other things.
But you're just but where are you at? You just in the dating
with
phase.
This individual.
Okay, so you're just dating. So that's
But listen,
good. Okay.
But he won't put physical into it
with the one that
he's dating,
going to get serious with.
But he would have others on the side that he would use for that.
Okay, as long as no kid or child come of it.
What?
Or
I'm saying.
I don't know.
Right. But what I'm saying is
how deep this is going to go.
Reason I'm saying that is because the man is willing to go as far as he can with you.
Yeah, you teach him. You
get what I'm saying? But you showing him with me. I can't say what you doing with these other women. Now we talking about dating. With me.
We went back to dating.
We never left dating. This dude is just dating.
Okay.
He said he's willing to date up to 6 weeks before he try to push it to the next level sexually. But he would take care of all of his other needs with other people on the side. But he's willing to go that distance with you. Mm. So what am I saying? So if he's willing to go that distance with you, you got to be willing to know how far you willing to go before we take it into a relationship. Before you put the brakes on the dating. And what I mean by put the brakes on the dating, I'm not saying to take it to that next level where you introduce sex into the relationship.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that early.
That's the ploy that's so casually thrown out there. Is that people just so casually put sex on the table like it's just casual. But when a woman
of yourself,
you're
allowing other spirits to enter into you when you are doing those kind of things. But anyway, go ahead, babe.
No, but that's what I'm saying. When you take it there, when a woman gives her all, to me, that's a woman's all. When she shares her body with you,
yeah,
that's her giving her all to me, right? Mm-hmm. Because men,
let me say that part again.
That's her giving her all.
Who?
The woman.
Okay, let's just say me. Go ahead.
Okay, when my wife gives her all to me. That's her all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it wasn't until then, after the friendship, after the dating, after the relationship had solidified, that when we began sharing that part, right? Because that part once shared with somebody that appreciated it, listen to what I'm saying, it was a wonderful thing. But nowadays, it's on the table regardless of a commitment, regardless of a relationship, regardless of a connection. Because somehow today's society had tricked the woman in the music. Because some of this music that the young people are listening to, the women are even more aggressive sexually as the men are.
Oh my gosh.
Not knowing when listen, a lot of this rap that these women that are rapping is been written from a male chauvinist viewpoint. And the women think it's cute to be pet sexually. And they're turning men off, and they're leaving a lot of the women's lost because they think this is how they present themselves, and they think this is what they should do. And then the men will take, like I tell you, they'll take what you give them. And they only gonna give back what it took to get it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And talking about the music, I just remember when I went for my workout class to the Zumba. I signed up for the Zumba. Yeah, step. Yes. And I was trying to get the step, or I was so disturbed by the words in the song that I couldn't even get the step. And I remember the young lady that was leading the class was saying, come on, we got to keep up with the class. Come on, we're going to do the step. We're going to do a 1, 2. And I said, I can't even keep, well, I didn't say it out loud, but I'm like, I couldn't even get the step because the words in the song was just so disturbing. I was like, I wanted to just grab my keys and whatever else I brought and leave because the words were so disturbing. And I don't even want to repeat what the words in the song,
but it was just vulgar.
Want to lick this, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Listen,
what? I can't even. I couldn't even get with it. I was just totally lost. But needless to say, I did not return back to that class because, that was just so degrading. It was so degrading. The words in that song.
And this is how it's pushed out, and this is how it's presented.
Yeah.
I seen one lady where she writes all of this music, and like I tell you before, if your baby is twerking, somebody needs to sound the alarm. If you let your baby twerk and thinking that's cute for her to present herself like that, something's wrong. And then you wonder why the boys are twerking, because mama twerking, mama twerking, grandma twerking. Now the grandbabies is twerking. Come on, somebody got to sound the alarm. It ought not to be. Listen, and just like this one lady was doing this rap, she was playing her rap, and when her child came into the room, now she wrote the rap, she sings it, she performed it, but when her daughter came into the room, she turned it off. She like, ooh, turn it off. I want my baby to hear that. But she'll let you play it for your baby and have your baby twerking and doing the booty wop and everything else. Listen, y'all, no. It ought not to be. If the foundation has been corrupted, how you gonna build on it? If mama and grandmama is at the same club, come on now. I know y'all like, oh yeah, but listen now. Come on, Nana. Come on, Nana. Come on, Big Mom. Come on.
Yeah.
We got to go back to being what we need to be. And everybody want to get where I still got some living to do. Yeah, but don't abandon your morals and teach that to the next generation, right. Which in turn teach it to the next generation. Yeah. So from now on, what's the third and fourth generation going to look like if all of our people that our kids is listening to is teaching and pushing into them all kind of sexual improprieties and this and that going on in the music that's being related, being rerun in their head. Listen. There are some not organizations, but there are some ethnic people that don't even allow their kids to listen to the mess. But we play it for our babies, and we wonder why. Why that our young ladies are so sexualized. Babies, young ladies. There used to be a time where virginity was sought after.
Yes.
But now it's shunned upon.
Yeah.
You a what?
Virgin.
Come on. Now it's shunned upon now. Where don't no young lady want to go into or young man want to go into the picture, because young men are just, men have that persona that they all this, that, and the other. But listen to some of the positive rappers and let them explain to you what it is for a man and a woman to go into that spot. It's not to be taken lightly. But sometimes men has been given a persona that this is what we're supposed to do, where we can be just as innocent as a woman. You get what I'm saying? But when we allow for all of these things to get on the table, and that foundation, is not only not laid, it's been swept over.
Yeah.
It's like a plate of a building. Whenever they lay something down, and when it's not taken care of, the growth of the weeds overgrow it, and they overtake it. And then you try to build upon something that doesn't have a stable foundation. And that's what we've been left with. That's why we answer these questions. This is why we're here, so we can talk about it.
Talk about it.
Listen, no. It's not going down like that.
Conversation, yes. Let's have this conversation where we can talk about what can we do different? What can we do to help? What can we do to teach? And let the other ones or this generation know that the way that it should go. I mean, there is a better way,
And there is a way, and there is a chance, and there is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Listen, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about that. We talk about
dating, relationship,
and
foundation in this table.
And the foundation. We can go
Tell
further.
me what you think.
And just like we say, don't have that list. Get that list out the way.
Yes.
Just like we tell people, they say, don't go to bed angry. Listen, when you marry, sometimes you go to bed and wake up just as mad.
Oh, my goodness.
But you still carry on. A marriage and a relationship is a commitment.
Yes.
I mean, you committed more, I guess, to marriage because you've made a vow to one another, right? And whereas in a relationship, if you are two equally, and I don't want to rush into relationship because I don't even think people are getting to relationships.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't even think they're getting to a relationship. I think they're still caught, baby, somewhere between dating and not dating. Because they're doing everything in a relationship in the date.
And they're getting married off of that. And
marriage
is not lasting. Yeah,
if marriage. I'm saying they ain't even getting to a relationship. They just they're doing everything. Oh, that's a.
And we won't go through that now because I know we've been.
Yeah, but that's a keynote.
That'll be for the next tape, and we're going to talk about.
Yeah, let me finish.
Into it.
You're trying to cut me loose. Let me get it. You're doing too much in the dating phase. You can't even get to the relationship because you
everything has
sold
already
out
been done in the dating.
Yeah. And we had already told you people are open to date more than one person.
What did you say about the cow giving her?
What did I say? Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? Now, we ain't calling nobody no cow.
No.
But y'all know what we're saying. Listen, this is TNT.
TNT.
From our perspective.
Yes, from our perspective.
We love you. Like, comment, subscribe.
Please.
We coming back with another banger.
Questions. Yes.
Y'all be looking for it, all right?
Yes.
We love you guys. Take it easy.